Hi, welcome to the European cooking. We're going to make chicken soup today. Chicken soup is a typical European soup. You could go to any country and you will get chicken soup. Although it's made differently, we're going to make it more of the eastern part of Europe, which is Poland, Germany, Hungary, all the eastern parts. Now we're going to put our chicken legs. Well, you're going to use chicken legs, but chicken legs are more tastier and they give more flavor. So we're going to put the chicken legs in the pot and we're going to get them browned up a little bit, not burned, but brown them up a little bit. Lower the flame so the flame doesn't burn it. And then we're going to add some onions. By the way, I did use margarine so the chicken does not stick to the pot. Margarine is better than butter because margarine does not burn. And this way we will have a nice even browning instead of it being burned. I'm putting in a half of a regular sized onion. I'm going to put it into the pot while the chicken is browning. That way it gives it a little more flavor. And every now and then we have to take a fork and we need to turn it because we don't want it to burn. We want it to get nice and brown, not burned. So now we're going to turn it around. Get nice and brown, but not burned. I used 4 chickens in this pot, which will make 5 quarts of chicken soup. Now I'm going to go into my vegetables here. I have celery. I have 3 stalks of celery here. I'm going to cut them down and make nice little cubes out of them. And while I'm doing that, every now and then I must check that chicken so it doesn't burn. What we're putting into this chicken soup is the celery, a half a parsnip, 2 carrots, and a nice bunch of parsley. Parsley could be any kind, the curly kind or the Italian kind. As long as it's parsley, this is the flavor. Put this here, celery. While you're cutting the vegetables, put the celery and so forth right into the pot while it's getting brown. But make sure that it's not burning up in that pot there because you don't want to burn up soup. So just turn that chicken around again, make sure it's nice. Oh, it smells good. It's getting there. When you saute it like this, it gives it a better flavor. Actually, you do that with all kinds of soups. You saute the meats and chicken or whatever. So that way you get a better flavor. Now I'm cutting up the parsnips and cubing them a bit into nice little pieces. There we go. So first of all, I'm going to add, this is nice and brown now, and I don't want it to burn, so I'm going to add my 5 quarts of water to the pot. While I'm doing this, I'll tell you what another little secret about this chicken soup. You can really make a nice chicken a la king out of this also. All you do is, instead of 5 quarts of water, you could add 4 quarts of water and 1 quart of milk. And add a couple of little vegetables like peas. And of course you got the carrots in there and the celery, and all you do is add the peas and the milk. And then later when it's all nicely all cooked, you would just make a nice little flour and water and add it into that to thicken it, and there you have the chicken a la king. Well, let's go back to the chicken soup now. I'm adding all of my ingredients here. which is the parsnip, the celery, the carrots, and the onions. There we go. And also, if it's too much of a pot, too big of a pot for you, don't worry about it. You can freeze it. Chicken soup freezes very, very well, so you can freeze it for other times. Doesn't mean you have to eat it all at once. So if you're a good friend or neighbor, you could bring it to your friend or neighbor's house. All right, now that all of the soup greens have been added to the soup, it has come to a boil. You need to lower the flame a little bit, and you have to start scooping off the impurities, or scum as they call it, because these are excess from the chicken. It was clean, by the way. You need to clean the chicken before you brown it and get it into the pot, that's for sure. But any of the impurities come to the top, like this, and just scoop them up. And of course you're going to take off quite a bit of the chicken fat, which you don't want too much of anyway. So yeah, take a little chicken fat off with it while you're at it. And just scoop it up on top. Don't put the spoon down too low. Just keep it up high, and the fat and the scum will come right up on the spoon for you. This makes it nice and clear, and you know that the soup, it has no impurities, and it's nice and clear and ready to be cooked. Now that what's all impurities are off, I'm going to add the parsley. I waited that long because we don't want the parsley to, I don't want to pick up the parsley while I'm picking up the impurities. So we'll add the parsley now. Let it cook. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper right into there. And then we're going to take 4 chicken bouillon cubes, 4 of these, and we just put them right into the soup here. And we're going to let that simmer. And we'll raise it up a little bit higher, not too high and not too low. Like maybe, it says 8 on this stove, so that would be like halfway. So it's boiling a little bit, but not over boiling. You want it to simmer and still be working its way to a nice broth here for you. Then we're going to cover it. And we're going to let it cook for at least an hour to an hour and a half. All right, now the chicken soup has been cooking for a good hour. As soon as you can feel that the meat is nice and tender, you take the chicken legs out. There are 4 of them here, so you take them out, put them on a dish here. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna debone it. We're going to take the chicken off of the bone, and of course we're not going to use the skin. We're going to take the skin and discard it just like we do the bones. But we're going to just take the chicken apart like this. It comes apart very easy. Just take a knife and a fork. Forget, we don't want that skin. Scoop off all that chicken meat there. There we go. Just scoop it off. Chop it up real good. Chop it up. And we're gonna put the chicken right back into the soup. And we're gonna let the soup simmer again. Let the chicken meat get right through that soup juice there, so its flavor is nice and chickeny. Chickeny. I shouldn't say chickeny. It's chicken flavored. Sorry about that. All right, the soup is completely done here. It's a broth. It's a clear, nice chicken broth, right? Now you can have this on the side with any sort of egg noodles that you like. The egg noodles you boil by themselves and you just add them to the broth if you're going to have the egg noodles. But I'm going to do the ouzo. Ouzo is a nice little light noodle, and I'm going to add 1 cup of ouzo into the soup broth. Into the broth here. I'm going to mix it a little bit and keep mixing it for about 3 minutes so it doesn't stick to the bottom, because it's sort of heavy for a while, until it opens up and gets mixed with the broth. Now this will cook for about 15 minutes until the noodles are completely nice and cooked. And then we're going to have a nice soup mixture here ready to have for our dinner or lunch or supper or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to go through what I had added to this soup. First of all, I had bought 4 chicken legs. I washed and cleaned them very, very good. Then I had added them to a 5-quart pot. I added half a teaspoon of margarine so the chicken legs don't stick. That way, I sauteed the chicken legs till they're nice and brown but not burned. I added a half a cup of chopped onion. That way it adds more flavor to the chicken. Then, as the chicken had gotten brown, I added 5 quarts of water. On the side, I chopped up 1 small parsnip, 3 stalks of celery, chopped up, of course, a half a cup of fresh parsley, chopped up, and 2 nice large-sized carrots cut up nicely. I added that to the broth, and then I covered it and let it simmer for a while. Then, of course, I added my 1 tablespoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of pepper, 4 chicken bouillon cubes, and then I just let it simmer until the legs of the chicken are nice and tender, ready to be taken out to be deboned. And that way you put the chicken back into the pot, let it simmer a while. After that, I added my 1 cup of ouzo noodles. And as I say, you could have the chicken broth as your own little chicken broth with your own favorite egg noodles on the side, or whatever way you like. It doesn't matter as long as it comes out nice and tasty for you. Good luck! And of course, bon appetit! Alright, the soup is all ready. Now we're going to serve it to our favorite person here who loves to eat good foods, especially chicken soup. Doug loves his chicken soup. Let's see how this soup turned out for him. I hope he likes it, so let's put a little more chicken in there for him. And we'll take it to the table and we'll serve the master of the house, Doug.
Oh, this soup is wonderful.
All right.
It's the best chicken soup I've ever had.
Well, you are expertise for foods.
Oh yeah, I'm like a professional chicken soup taster.
Especially chicken soup.
Yeah.
You like it? Great.
Yum, yum.
Okay.
Okay.
Enjoy. Bon appetit.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Let me have some more. You know, this soup really is good. I didn't just say it for the commercial.